Okay, I'd like to call the Human Services Committee meeting to order and welcome those visiting us live streaming this morning. First item of business, declaration of pecuniary interest. Hearing none, action items, rental lease agreement, 910 Queen Street. Christine.
Okay, we do have a rental lease agreement before you to renew at our current location. And so you will see that there's a modest financial increase of $347 in 2019. And the recommendation is that a bylaw be introduced authorizing the extension of the lease agreement between the Corporation of the County of Bruce and Carla McLean to provide rental office space for human services, amending the original lease dated April 1st, 2006 between Sam Dune Holdings, Inc. and Bruce County Social Services, which is under bylaw 4265.
You've heard the recommendation, mover and seconder. Milt, Mike, are there any further discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor, opposed if any, that is carried. The second one?
So the next one is our rental lease agreement for 605 Mill Street in Port Elgin. The recommendation is that we extend the current lease agreement between the County of Bruce and Ray Fenton to continue to provide rental office space for human services for 6 months, ending on April 30th. The Human Services team will be moving to join planning and development and library at library headquarters at that time. But we need a little bit of time for that movement to occur, and so we are recommending that extended period.
You've heard the recommendation. Moved by Paul, seconded by Janice. Are there any further discussions on that recommendation? Hearing none, all those in favor, opposed if any, that is carried. Thank you. Information items.
So staff have prepared before you updates, beginning with the Q3 childcare and fee subsidy report. You'll see that we've given an update report on the number of active child applications for each of the municipalities, and also those that are looking for childcare in our system from our neighboring counties as well. And great news to report on the work that the team has been doing to lean and continue to enhance the One List registry. We've now automated pieces of it where we ask the families to update their application on an interval basis. And so when they've made the decision that they're happy with the care they currently have, they then remove themselves from other wait lists. And if they haven't notified us in a particular period, then the system does it. So it just really keeps the list quite clean. Obviously, if they want to remain on the list, they have a vested interest to keep that current. Also, just highlighting that we are doing some marketing work in hopes of expanding the number of providers that we have in our home child care program. The more home child care providers we can bring on board, the number of spaces for regulated childcare increases dramatically. So we do have that campaign happening, and you may even receive some of those postcards at home in your mailbox as well too, if you're the areas in particular that we're searching for providers. Also just an update on the number of children that we're providing fee subsidy for across the county as well, based on their age groups. And I can take any questions if there are any with regards to the child care and fee subsidy update.
Are there any questions or comments on that report? So there is business opportunities for folks out there, so it's good to see that there's some. And we disseminate this information through how, Christine?
This particular postcard is a mail out that's going to the targeted areas. As well, we're of course using our social media and web interactions and engagement with people as well to focus on it, and then through our programming. So at our early on sites, we have information available, and so using a variety.
Through our library system as well, right, Nicole? Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, next information item.
Okay, so with regard to our income and employment supports division, we do have some information before you just showing the general trends around the caseload. You can see that our caseload continues to trend low. As of the end of September, our average was 585 cases per month. And you can see that over the 3-year time period, it has been decreasing as a trend. Additionally, the staff have given an update on the work that's happening with the employment team, and there's great successes with the outreach that we've been doing to find participation opportunities for folks that are on Ontario Works, and we've had some that have obtained employment, which is a great step forward. And also exciting that we are having another Getting Ahead graduation that's happening next week in Walkerton with more graduates from that program.
Comments, questions? Okay, the next information item.
And so the last information item is with regard to our housing wait list. You'll see that we continue to have a large wait list, and unfortunately the trend is that we're having new applications added. We're not moving people off the wait list as quickly as we'd like to because of the high number of applications. There's consistency in where we're seeing the applications. Saugeen Shores continues to be the highest demand area, followed by Kincardine. So along the lakeshore, of course, is our highest demand. And then closely followed by Brockton and South Bruce Peninsula. And I can take any questions in that regard as well.
Any questions or comments? Mike?
Thanks, Mr. Just a comment. I want to thank you and Tanya for coming to Saugeen Shores there last week. We've got one of our bigger developers now sees, they've come to Saugeen Shores and done very well in the past. Now they see they have an issue with trying to attract employees that's kind of connected to the affordable housing issue. So there's some great interest by these people. And there's another group, and I'm not sure if you've been invited or not. I think it's later in November. And if it's not, I'll send it to you if you can come up, but they're looking at options and trying to address it. So it's an issue. The one thing I will say about it, I mean, it's not unique to Bruce County. It's not unique to Saugeen Shores. It's not something we're doing wrong here in Bruce County. I think it's a systemic problem that we see across the province, and the province needs to start to address it in a whole multitude of ways. So, but thanks for coming up, and hopefully we can address this issue.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. All right, motion to act on recommendations. Moved by Milt, second by Paul. Any further discussions? All those in favor? Opposed, if any, that's carried. Next meeting, December the 6th. Motion to adjourn, Robert and David. All those in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. We're now adjourned.